Evening all, just thought I'd do a quick start-up video for the Falcon in DCS, as the ones I've seen tend to miss out an important step when doing it. Well, these are the ones I can find, and it will affect the plane and the systems in it, and you won't be able to do certain things. So this is just how I do it. It's obviously not by the book, because checklists are for losers anyway. So it's a way just to start the plane up, get it in the air, and everything will work fine. So to start, we need to make sure that the plane has battery by right clicking on the battery button down there twice. You'll hear the actual battery and the electronics turn on. So then we come down to the start button and then right click to start one. You'll hear the generator and the engine start to spool up. We come over to the engine panel, we've got the RPM dial to go up to 20%. Just make sure that your throttle's in idle, which it should be in the off detent anyway. Now when the RPM percentage is 20%, you need to move the throttle off idle, which is right shift and home, or you can set it to your home task, but I can't be bothered. So in here, you have the engine spooling up. Put on your warning lights and go off. Good time to shut the canopy. Right. There we go. Lock the canopy into place. Cool. While the engine is spooling up, to over on the pounds. Now there's the important bit. The align button. Put it into norm as normal to align, which when you look on the DVD, you can see that it's aligning as normal. Now what you need to do is when you start introducing the last patch, you need to tell the aircraft where you are. And to tell the INS what position you are on the planet. If you don't do that, then the nav mode won't work properly. You may not get your navigation carrot, your heading carrot up here on the actual tape, and also things like the target pod won't work, and you may not get the bomb 4 line when you're dropping in CCRP or CCRP. To do this, you go into the ICP panel, and you go to list, and 6 INS, which takes the page, and as you can see, that's put anything in because the lat and long details are already in there. You need to input them into the INS, so when you click to do that, simply enter, double down, enter, and that's it, you've done it. You've told the plane where you are. That's literally all you need to do. You leave it on that page, or I tend to leave it on that page when I've done it. So now we're waiting for the INS to align. Switching all things on, so the radar altimeter, flight control radar, and then if you've got, now this is a cheap panel, so if you've got the target pod or something, so you turn them on, I'll turn them on just out of habit, you don't really need to. Radio. Well, the radio is actually, if you haven't used Easy Comms, it's actually bugged a little bit in the 16, so you still need to set COM 1 and COM 2 for the 2 radio channels, otherwise it's a bit hit and miss whether it works or not. Turn lights on you want them as required. Some people get really funny about it depending who you're playing with or what server you're on. Some people don't care, some people get really anal about it, and I guess they don't really care. But we'll turn them on. Taxi light. Countermeasures on. Standby. And the ejection handling there. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much done. Just wait for the INS to align. And so there are some things to add in, like the fire control radar. From years of playing BMS Falcon 4, it can overheat, so you used to have to start it, run the test on it, which you don't have to do in the current build of DCS. And then you have to go to the air cool panel and put the air source on to cool, and it would cool the radar down and it would work. I don't know whether that's correct or that's true of what would happen in real life, but that's what they made you do. Also, while it's loading, people have noticed a bit or been asking about the stores config button. Essentially that lets to weight the weight of the aircraft. So if you are, Cat 1 is for light, so basically I am clean, no just fuel, no weapons, and probably air to air. twos if you're doing an air to ground mission. So if you've got like 2 bags on, you've got 2 GBU-12s or 8 Mark 82s or Mavericks. It just tells the fly-by-wire system when the plane, how heavy the plane is, so it can adjust the fly-by-wire and trim essentially. You can, if you leave it in Cat 3 and you've got a Cat 1 loadout, it can break stuff if you've got failures turned on. Same as if you've got Cat 1 and you've got Cat 3 loadout, you may not get off the ground, or it may break something when you take off. I don't know if that's actually modelled in DCS, but it's something to know. Make sure that the backup horizon is uncaged and centered as per. Turn the RWR on if you want, which is down here. So literally power search done. Obviously it won't come on because it has a dead switch. When you've got weight on wheels, it doesn't switch off till you actually take off. That's it, pretty much. Let's just wait for the INS to align. So the Falcon is probably the easiest modern jet to actually start up from cold. It's currently in DCS, if you do it this way. If you follow the checklist, it'll take half an hour like they all do. But compared to the Hornet and the Warthog, this is the simplest plane to start up. You can literally start it up and be in the air within, how long has it been? 5 minutes? 10 minutes? If you start with the restores, I haven't, but if you start with the restores ready to go, it's not like the Warthog where you have to load it into the DNS page. These all come, it comes already loaded currently in this build. You should put the parking brake on as well, but I always forget. You don't really need to, because unless you left your throttle forward, and you left your throttle forward, it won't let you take it out of the idling then anyway. Come on, INS. You'll know when it's ready, because say he says a line here in the hood, that will flash ready, and then also this will flash ready as well. Do the countdown, look, so this will count down to 0, and when that's counted down to 0, it's ready. So we've got like 27. It's not seconds, it's a bit longer than a second. But this is the countdown, so when this gets to 0, it's fully aligned. Well, then obviously down here you don't really need to touch. Check that you've got no warning lights, which you haven't, and you check the 2 cheap warning lights, none, and the matter caution's off. I clicked it off, but make sure it's off anyway. Speed time up to get the INS to align quicker. Okay, it's done. And I couldn't remember the thing to stop the time button to stop the time going forward. As you can see, when it's aligned, look, you see it will say that will flash align and that will flash ready. And you come down to the NS line page, you just right click to nav. That's it. One last thing you need to do is engage nose wheel steering. The button is, I got it actually mapped to my HOTAS stick, my X56. It's just the actual trigger button to the right with your index finger. You see it's come on, it says arm nose wheel steering. The nose wheel steering is actually good to have mapped to your HOTAS in the 16 because it's used for various things. It fires the laser, it changes, cancels targets in air-to-air mode and air-to-ground mode. but it is good to have, just so you're not faffing around with the keyboard. Have it mapped to your stick, so when you're doing something, say you want to fire your laser for your target pod or cancel, then it's just good to have it. You can quickly press it with your finger. And that is it for the 16. You're good to go. And it's not taking, what, 5-10 minutes, if that? Maybe a little bit longer, because I'll skip the time forward to speed the INS alignment up. There you go, you are ready to go. Ready to go and blow stuff up. Might as well do a series on this and actually load some weapons on and go and blow some things up and show people how I actually do it. And show how good aircraft the 16 actually is. It's actually my favourite plane in DCS, despite the fact I've got thousands of hours in the A10, so, because I had that when it very first came out. Anyway guys, cheers for watching, take care, peace!